Each time you speak, if you watch, from what position do I speak? Is it from the person or from consciousness? And what does consciousness need to say? And if it is from the person, is there not the weakness to the person? I would ask you to care to find out, because that simple discovery is going to be greater than anything the person can achieve. Can I say like that? I'm going to shrink it down, baby food language, no? When you speak, when you talk about your life and the world and your travels and your journeys and your hopes and aspirations, when you say I, where is this I starting from? Is it starting from the person or from consciousness? Watch and see. If it's starting from your person, whatever your person say or aspires to become will never reach or attain or be anywhere near as magnificent as that which watches the person speaking. What I'm saying to you now, I hope you can recognize and prove into yourself. It's a reflex somehow to speak from, yes, I'm going to do this and I don't agree with this and what I think and you and blah, blah, blah. Where are you speaking from? Watch. I'm going to show you a new exercise. It's called eye watching. Watch your eye sense. Because until now, nobody is watching this eye sense. It's watching what the eye is watching and what the eye is saying. But I'm just saying, clarify the position of the eye that you speak from. Is this too complicated? No. So, watch this. Start if you want. I would say sometimes, go to any restaurant, any chai shop around here, they're busy enough and stuff. Sit there quietly and have a cup of tea and stuff, and listen to the conversations that happen, and watch where they're starting from. What did you think of this satsang this morning? Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean my mind. You, what do you think? Tomorrow we're going to go, I. And see each time the feeling of I, even sometimes if I is not used, the indication is of an I. Where does it start from? From personhood or from the sense of presence? And you have an idea of how your own sense of I is operating. And if you're speaking always from the place of person, you're going round and round and round. You may think you're going up and up and up, but we're going round and round and round. If you begin to observe and recognize that the starting point of these conversations are in a place of personhood, and that is consciously observed, then you'll discover what you see. What is watching even this person? What is watching this person? Is it a person? Don't give it to your mind. You don't need your mind here. Just sober looking, just look and feel. And you'll see that there's a great expanse in you that you for a long time have not been aware of. It's not hiding, but it appears to be hidden. In the most ignorant state, you're not even aware that it is hidden. Because if you feel it is hidden, at least you know it's there. And some people maybe don't even have any idea that there's such a thing. Consciousness, what the hell is that? I don't believe in that. Well, you need consciousness to believe or even disbelieve. But you're unaware. So a simple exercise, if you speak, even think, even at the place of only thinking, if you can watch where it starts from, it's almost 99% of the time starting from I person. I person. There is no enlightened person. As you begin to recognize that the person sense is a construct observable, then you automatically become aware of the space of being which is not contaminated by personhood. But then it is as though the person something is trying to shut that down, like pulling the curtains closed. You know, say, no, come back to reality. Something is saying, meaning come back to the mind. But that is also observed. Don't identify with anything. Just keep looking. And as you're looking, you're not taking any juice from what you're looking at, but from where you're looking from and what it is that's looking. There's another dimension undiscovered, largely. The dimension of being and presence. That's your first major leap into freedom. Come to this place first, and then I can guide you beyond even this place. Come to this place first. Conscious witnessing. In the beginning you might think, you might be fascinated that, but wait, everything that is seen, you know, has got some attitude stapled around it, generating from the sense of personhood. But this is seen. As soon as it is seen that it is a construct, you stop supplying energy. And the greatest energy you can give to something is to identify with it. You are hemorrhaging energy to something, to a tree that bears bad fruit. I'm not saying the world of the personhood is all bad. It is also consciousness. It is good and bad. It is full of promises, full of a sense of adventure. But very often of vain thinking, false perception, misconceptions, fantasy. When you discover more and more your observing place, you don't have to apply too much philosophy around it. It doesn't need any philosophy. You are in the realm of being, more intuitive, more spontaneous, naturally more trusting, more appreciating, more joy, alive, kind, compassionate, wholesome, loving. These are the perfume arising out of that state. Give it a chance. Look. Look a little bit. It is here that you begin to recognize that what is and what you are one, and that you spontaneously know that what you are is imperishable. Then goes the fear of death, and also the fear of life also. Something relaxes. There's a natural trust with life. There's not so much need to believe in things. There's not such drive to speculate. Everything is arising spontaneously here. And you notice life takes care of life, not your mind. And spontaneously you're growing in trust, in peace, in intuitiveness. So this is a simple pointer, no? Simple pointer. No one need to say, oh, but it's too difficult for me, I can't do that. No. Watch, who is saying that? Is it the I person or I presence. I think it's significant enough to find out and to experience also. I'm not asking you to believe only. Belief is great, but belief also must transmute into experience. Then you can stand in the authority of your own seeing, but it's not personal, and there's no pride. This is very important, because the truth will not be revealed in an arrogant mind. So, are you full or empty?